guest used to be a doctor, and now he's a comedian, which is, quite frankly, the funniest thing I've ever heard. He's the co-host of American Ninja Warrior. Please welcome the incredibly talented Matt Iseman.
Hello, everybody. I am Matt Iseman, and I quit my job as a doctor to do stand-up comedy. I did, and not because of the lawsuits. I quit medicine because I had an epiphany. I realized in my heart of hearts, I truly believed laughter was the best medicine. Yes. Yeah, right? Turns out Vicodin works a whole lot better. So my patients are furious because I'm in there, the x-ray shows a fractured femur. Ouch. Knock, knock. Oh, God. Two nuns walking to a bar. He's not laughing. I need something stronger. Pull my finger. Stat! That's my favorite word that I learned in my entire time as a doctor, stat. And I know everybody knows what it means now because of Grey's Anatomy and ER. I didn't know what it meant when I started medical school. And I remember the first time I ever heard that word used. I was a first-year student working at a hospital in New York. Chaos is breaking out. And the doctor in charge turns to me. And he goes, Iseman, I need 2 units of O positive. Stat! The Yankees are 12-4 in night games? Turns out that wasn't the stat he was looking for, so I'm a good student. I went home, I got my medical dictionary out, and I looked it up. Stat is a Latin word that means immediately, which makes sense, right? Because I know when it's a life or death situation and I want something immediately, I like to switch to a centuries dead language that no one else possibly speaks. Break out the leeches while you're at it. I will tell you, I should have known what to expect, though, because my dad is a doctor. And my dad and I actually worked at the same hospital together, which meant every day you'd hear, paging Dr. Iseman. There's a page for Dr. Iseman. And then you'd hear my dad, which one? Dr. Iseman's dad or Dr. Iseman's son? But I felt bad for my dad because when I quit medicine, I moved out to LA. And he had to stay behind at the hospital and face everybody. And people are coming up to him going, hey, Mike, what happened to Dr. Iseman's son? And my dad, proud man that he is, had to look these people in the eyes and tell them, he's dead. He's no longer with us. I'll tell you though, my girlfriend, she handled it totally differently though. We'd been going out for about a year. We were talking marriage. And I sat her down and I said, honey, I'm quitting medicine to do stand-up comedy. She said, Matt, I think it's awesome you're pursuing your dream. Good luck. She dumped me on the spot. She broke up with me. And the part that hurt the most, you know what she liked most about me? My sense of humor. Apparently, ladies, I was a lot funnier when I had a job. But I learned from that. See, when I moved out to LA and I met girls, I didn't tell them I was a comedian. I told them I was a doctor. No. Because you women in LA are tough. Because I met this girl, we're hitting it off. Things are going great. She's like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, actually, I'm a doctor. This girl goes, pfft. Well, that's really neat, but don't get so full of yourself. It's not like you play a doctor on TV. Ouch. That hurt. But I did get the last laugh, because I took her home that night and we played doctor. No. I made her wait in the lobby of my apartment building for 2 hours. I spent 5 minutes with her and sent her a bill for $575. Who's your doctor now? Hey, you guys have been fantastic. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Have a seat. Oh. Nice job.
It's fun. It's fun. A lot better than saving people's lives.
Every woman in the studio has been swooning ever since you walked into the place. It's like, yes, he's looking around. You're tall, you're good looking, you're funny, and you're a doctor. That's just greedy. All the guys are going to leave something for the rest of us.
Hey, on paper, I am awesome. Then they meet me, they're like, oh, okay.
Okay, so tell me the true story. Why did you decide to quit medicine to do comedy?
So, you know, I get into medical school, and medical school is nothing like training, being a doctor. And I love medical school. I love the intellectual challenge, but then you get into the day-to-day existence of being a physician. And I just started looking around, and I didn't see anybody who I thought, I want to be that guy in 10 years. And I realized medicine's a calling. I truly believe that. It's not a job. And I just wasn't hearing the calling, and I realized my heart wasn't in it, and I didn't want to do something that I wasn't passionate about for me and for my patients. So I decided to take a year off and clear my mind, and I'd done stand-up, I think 5 or 6 times in med school, and I thought, I'm just going to go out to L.A. and tell jokes, clear my mind, and see where I am at the end of a year.
Now, how did you tell your parents? I'm sure your parents put you through. You went to Princeton?
Yeah.
Went to Princeton. You got your MD from Columbia.
Yeah.
All right, and so you go home after this education, and your parents probably wrote a check or two. Can I make that assumption? And you say,
my grandparents wrote some checks, and they're no longer with us. I won't say why. It wasn't disappointment that killed them. No. So I took them out to my favorite Chinese restaurant, and so my dad literally is a professor at the University of Colorado, which is where I was doing residency, and I think they sensed that there was some discontent on my end, but you know, I sat him down and I said, this just isn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking of taking a year off and doing stand-up comedy. And my mom kind of looked at my dad, figuring, you handle this one, big guy. And the first words out of his mouth were, life is short, do what makes you happy.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great.
I don't know what he said after I left, but to their credit, they really have been. They've been unbelievably supportive. They come out whenever I'm performing stand-up comedy. They watch every episode of any TV show I'm on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm sure they're watching now. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Oh, that's great. You know, you did General Hospital, but you didn't play a doctor.
So that was tough, because you go in and you think, well, I'm going to get cast as a doctor. They didn't believe me as a doctor. They believed me as a date rapist. On Valentine's Day, I had to drug Carly Corinthos and drag her out of a bar. And this was like the first time I get recognized for something. I'm out like, hey, weren't you on General? Oh, I'll get my own drink, thank you very much. That was my big break on General Hospital. I didn't even get a death scene. One time I'm there, and the next thing, I'm in a dumpster, just dead. I didn't have a, ¿por qué? Nothing, just dead. Felt cheated.
What's the atmosphere like on that set? I mean, especially being a doctor, did you look at this and go, oh, that's fake, they'd never do this, or it doesn't work that way, or...
Yeah, I will say Scrubs was the most realistic depiction of life as a doctor, in that it was, you just have this morbid gallows sense of humor, and you're around death and disease all the time, so some of the things that you joke about are inappropriate. But General Hospital, on the other hand, I gotta say, if anybody is interested in being an actor, that is boot camp. These people will get 80 to 100 pages, 80 to 100 page script, and the next day, they're doing it. And you get 1 or 2 takes, and that's it.
And they've got all this technology, all the medical terminology that they've got to learn.
Yeah, and for me, I'm like, I can do that. They're like, no, just Rohypnol. That's all you need to know. That's it. No, I still have never played a doctor on TV, so I'm hoping some point I get to break out the stethoscope and the white coat, which I do still have, just in case, ladies. You know.
Now, I've heard that you've had some instances on set where there have been some medical emergencies or people wanting help.
American Ninja Warrior, and everyone's shocked. We have very few injuries. In fact, in 6 years that I've been on it, we've had 5 really injuries that required serious medical attention. One of them was a dislocated shoulder. And the guy is in excruciating pain on the side of the set. And I'm up in the host tower, and they're kind of looking at me. Everyone's kind of slowly turning. Me? And so I start going down. Fortunately, another one of our competitors is actually a practicing emergency room physician. So he goes over, puts the shoulder back in the socket, and then I was like, oh, you got this one. Next one's mine. Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Noah. Yeah, so it's fortunate I haven't had to put anybody under the care of these hands in a while.
All right, now have you ever tried any of the stunts?
Yes.
What have you tried? What's the wildest one you've tried?
Well, I tried the warped wall, which is the 14-foot curved wall. And Brent Stephenson, one of the great Ninja Warriors, was coaching me. And I got my fingertips on it. He's like, next one, you're going to get it. So I dug deep, took 3 steps. Ow! Hamstring! Tweaked it. It's gotten so bad that production has actually banned me from the course. Not because they're worried about me getting hurt. They're worried that I just will get so hurt I can't host the show. So they said, no more. I can't try the obstacles.
Physician, heal thyself.
Yeah.
I guess.
Not this guy.
Well, you can catch Matt Iseman on American Ninja Warrior. Hey, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure,
to
Brian.
have you.
Congratulations.
All right. Matt Iseman, ladies and gentlemen.